And gents, and welcome to tonight's episode of Les Morte. They're half an hour late, which is pretty unexcusable by my standards, but tonight we still have a great show in store. Tonight, Sir Palamides gets to face off against more knights than you could shake a stick at, even if the stick was a nice little pen opener. Pen opener? I keep calling this a pen opener. It's a letter opener. Even if the stick is a letter opener like this. And welcome, Danny. Danny, welcome. Come in to tonight's show. I am sorry for my tardiness. Tonight is the last tardy night. It will be fixed after tonight. Hello, Francis. Come in. Yes, we have been on a tardy slope as of late, but we will get out of it. We are coming out of it. In fact, we are back on track, which is the nice thing. I am sorry, Danny. The truth is, Danny, that after spending the past couple of weeks working non-stop, I haven't had a chance to write. And last week, when all of that ended and I got some chance to write, I was so exhausted I actually couldn't write. And I realised that actually that's been making me quite down, and that's why my scopes have been running a little bit late recently, is because I haven't had a chance to revise Till Bashing. It's just all been first drafts. I don't like sharing first drafts, and so I have been very, very nervous about coming on to Periscope, and so I've been feeling a bit down about it. So my energy levels have been down. And it's all become a bit of a vicious cycle, Danny. Because I haven't written, which, there we go. Usually when a Simon is feeling down, it tends to be because he hasn't been writing. And so Simon hasn't been writing. And so Simon's been feeling down and the Periscope times have slipped. So I'll have to fix it. I will have to fix the time for doing all of this and make sure we're coming out at the right time. I know, it's awful, isn't it, Danny? It's awful. It reminds me of... Have you seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Danny? I like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's my favourite Kevin Costner film. It's my favourite Alan Rickman film. It's a wonderful, wonderful film. And there's a scene in Robin Hood. There's a scene where Robin Hood fights with Little John over this river, which is an incredibly shallow river, and the two of them are fighting over the shallow river, and eventually Robin knocks Little John into the water, and Little John thinks that he's drowning when in fact it's quite shallow. Now, that river is in the Yorkshire Dales in a place called Aysgarth, which has a wonderful pub. And when I was but a wee lad, like yay high, I must have been, gosh, old enough to remember, I must have been like 6 or 7 years old. I was very excited by this because it's not actually just rivers there, it's little waterfalls. Not big waterfalls, just little waterfalls, but lots of them, and it's called Aysgarth Falls. And I was very excited by this because I hadn't seen a waterfall before, and there were steps down to it. Little steps, yes, little rivulets. And there were steps leading down to it, and I got very excited, and I started to run down the steps towards these waterfall rivulet things. And because there was a spray coming up from it, those steps are worn very, very smooth by all the water that gets on them, and all the spray. Oh, sorry, they're worn smooth by all the feet on them. And then the water and the spray gets on them and makes them slippery. And so I started to run. I started to run down these steps. And at some point, my little 7-year-old feet slipped on them. And all of my momentum was plunging forward. I wasn't falling, but I couldn't stop myself. And my parents were at the top watching me. Terrified, because at the bottom was a little walkway, and then some low railings, and then a plunging gorge of rocks and water, and they were terrified and convinced that I would plunge to my death on this. And I looked down, and I saw that I was going towards it as well. And it was that realisation. It's one of my most vivid memories of falling down towards Aysgarth Falls like this, not being able to stop myself, and eventually what I did was I realised that the only way for me to stop would be 3 or 4 steps before the end. I'd have to jump. I'd have to jump from those final few steps and land, and hope that the shock of landing would stop my momentum from going forward and I could fall backwards. And so about 3 steps before the end, before I hit the gorge, I jumped, hit my feet on the ground and pushed myself backwards. And so, thus, Simon did not fall into Aysgarth Falls and become a health and safety statistic for North Yorkshire County Council. Aysgarth Falls stayed open, nobody had to be sued, nobody had to open any inquiries, it was all good. All good. And with having spent the past month not writing, I think I have fallen into another one of those slippy spirals, Danny. I have been falling down the steps to Aysgarth Falls all over again, which should be a poem, by the way. Falling down the steps to Aysgarth Falls deserves to be a poem. I may well become a poem. But that's what I've been doing. I've been falling down the steps to Aysgarth Falls again, and tonight I've decided I'm going to jump and stop myself and say, I'm very, very sorry that we haven't done tail bashing recently. And I'm very, very sorry that my tardiness, no body bag, no litigation, nothing. It was all good. There will be smiting. There will be smiting still to come, Taz. Still to come tonight. We will get smiting in the bag. But that's why there's been no tail bashing, Danny. So rather than fake it and pretend that I'm comfortable doing it, I'm going to come out now and say, I am not comfortable reading tail bashing until I've written the best tail bashing that I possibly can. I need to make sure that the next chapter that I read you, Danny, has been redrafted properly, that I have spent time on it, and that I'm proud to share it with the world. Because if I'm not proud to share it, then I'm not going to share it, and then I'm going to get scared of coming onto the show. And we're going to get this whole spiral. So there won't be tail bashing tonight, Danny, and I apologise for that. And there wasn't tail bashing last week, and that was my fault as well. But there will be a tail bashing on Thursday, and between now and Thursday, I am going to write the very, very best episode I possibly can. Thank you, Danny, and I love the fact that you guys tune in. And so I don't want to betray your trust in listening to me. I want to make sure that I can give you guys a really good show. One that I love to tell, one that you guys love to be here for. I apologise, work has been pushing me under this past month, and I need to now... Last week I took a step back just to breathe and watch trashy TV. Well, not trashy TV, I was watching Pirates. Not Pirates, Black Sails on Amazon Prime. I keep wanting to call it Pirates. Sometimes I call it Sexy Pirates. But I've been watching a lot of TV, getting my head clear, trying not to use my mind too much, just let it untense. And tonight I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. Tonight I'm ready to tell you some proper smiting tales. Tonight I'm ready after this show to get back into the game and start redrafting again. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to Les Morte d'Arthur. Welcome back to an enthused person who's very, very excited to be telling stories with you. Pirate smiting, for goodness. In fact, one day I should get some of the old Waverley or Kingsley novels out and give you some proper piratey smiting. But for tonight, ladies and gents, for tonight, we shall move away from pirate smiting. We shall go to the land of chainmail, to the land of horses, to the land of jousting and damsels most fair. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into Arthurian Britain once more. Before we ended last week's tale, we were telling of the good knight Sir Bleoberis and how he had met with many knights and how there was much fighting going on right, left and centre. It got a wee bit confusing. There were so many knights fighting around. However, one thing was true, ladies and gents, that evil Sir Bruce Sans Pité, the most evil knight who ever lived, did come across Sir Bleoberis and Sir Ector, and there fought with them, and they chased him off. He's only just been chased off, ladies and gents. This evil knight has only just been chased off. And so tonight, ladies and gents, we shall see what happens as Bleoberis and his cousin Sir Ector de Marie watch in his aftermath. Ladies and gents, tonight we return to King Arthur's Britain for some more Les Morte d'Arthur. Right so as Bleoberis and Sir Ector de Marie stood there, then came Sir Palomides. And when Palomides saw the shield of Sir Bleoberis lie on the earth, then he said, "He that owes that shield, let him ready himself to fight me, for he smote me down here fast at a fountain, and therefore I will fight with him on foot." "I am ready," said Bleoberis, "and here to answer you, for know you well, Sir Knight, it was I who smote you, and my name is Sir Bleoberis de Gagny." "Well are you met," said Palomides, "and know you well that my name is Palomides the Saracen, and either of them hatred, other to their death." "Sir Palomides," said Ector, "know you well that there is neither you or any knight who bears life that can slay any of our blood, but he shall die in trying. Therefore, if you wish to fight, go seek Sir Lancelot or Sir Tristram, and there you find your match." "With them have I met," said Palomides, "but I have never no worship of them." "Was there never no manner of knight," said Sir Ector, "but they that has ever matched with you?" "Yes," said Palomides, "there was a third who could fight me in battle, a good knight as any of them, and of his age he was the best that ever I found, for he might have lived till he been a harder man than there liveth no knight now such. That man's name was Sir Lamorak de Galis, and as he had jousted at a tournament, there he overthrew me and 30 knights more, and there he won the degree. And at this departing, there met him Sir Gawain, his brethren, and with great plain they slew him feloniously, unto all good knights great damage. Anon, Sir Percival heard that his brother was dead. Sir Lamorak, he fell over his horse's mane swooning, and there he made the greatest do that ever made any knight. And when Sir Percival arose, he said, "Alas, my good and noble brother, Sir Lamorak, now shall we never meet. And I know in the whole wide world a man might not find such a knight as you were. And it's too much to suffer the death of our father, King Pellinore, and now the death of our good brother, Sir Lamorak." Then, in the meanwhile, there came a varlet from the court of King Arthur, who told them of the great tournament that should be at Lonazep, and how these lands, Cornwall and Northgally, should be against all them that would come. "Bonjour, Anthony! We are halfway through tonight's tale, ladies and gents, and we have just discovered that good, great knight Sir Lamorak has in fact met with a foul end at the hands of Sir Gawain. Sir Gawain, who long hated Lamorak because Lamorak's father went and... Who long hated Lamorak because Lamorak had slain his father, King Lot, has finally finally reached the point where he has managed to plunge the knife into Lamorak, ending his life and fulfilling the prophecy that Gawain once gave. Cruel man, Gawain. For his own father, Sir Lot of Orkney, was an evil man who stood in defiance and rebellion against Arthur, and Lamorak's actions were just. But Gawain was filled with hatred. And now all the land knows that Gawain has brought upon shame to the honour of knighthood through his actions. Ladies and gents, let's see just what happens now that his treachery has been revealed. Absolutely dawns real shame against Gawain. But, and I apologise for this, but Mallory is the tease, not me. Now, we turn to Sir Tristram, who rode on hunting and met with Sir Dinadan, who was coming into the country of Britain to find him. Sir Dinadan told Sir Tristram his name, but Sir Tristram would not share his, wherefore Dinadan was angry. "For such a foolish knight as you are," said Dinadan, "I saw but late this day lying by a well. And he fared as he slept, and there he lay like a fool, grinning, and would not speak. And his shield lay by him, and his horse stood by him, and well I knew that he was a man in love." "Ah, fair sir," said Tristram, "are you not a lover?" "Marry, fie on the craft," said Dinadan. "That is evil said," said Sir Tristram, "for a knight may never be of prowess if he were a lover." "It's well said," said Dinadan. "Now tell me your name, since you be a lover, or else I shall do battle with you." "As for that," said Sir Tristram, "it is no reason to fight with me, but I shall tell you my name. And as for that, my name you shall not know yet." "Fie, for shame," said Dinadan. "Are you a knight, and durst not tell your name to me? Therefore I will fight with you." "As for that," said Sir Tristram, "I will be advised, for I will not do battle unless you want." "And if I do battle," said Sir Tristram, "you would not be able to withstand me." "Fie! On thee, coward!" said Dinadan, and thus, as they hove still, they saw a knight come riding against them. "Lo," said Tristram, "see that there comes a knight riding who will joust with you." And anon, as Sir Dinadan beheld him, he said, "That is the same doted knight that I saw lie by the well, neither sleeping nor waking." "Well," said Tristram, "I know that knight well with the covered shield of azure. He is the king's son of Northumberland. His name is Epiengri, and he is as great a lover as I know, and he loves the king's daughter of Wales, who is a full fair lady." "And now, I suppose," said Sir Tristram, "that you require that he will joust with you, and then shall you prove whether a lover is a better knight, or you that will love no lady." "Well," said Dinadan, "now you shall see what I shall do." And therewith Sir Dinadan spoke on high and said, "Sir Knight, make yourself ready. Joust with me, for it's the custom of errant knights to joust with each other." "Sir," said Epiengri, "is that the rule of you errant knights, for to make a knight to joust whether he desires not to?" "As for that," said Dinadan, "make yourself ready, for here is for me." And therewith they spurred their horses and met together so hard that Epiengri smote down Sir Dinadan. Then Sir Tristram rode to Sir Dinadan, and he said, How? It seems to me that this lover hath well sped. Fie, and you coward, said Sir Dinadan. If you are a good knight, you would revenge me. No, said Sir Tristram, I will not joust at this time, but take your horse, and let us go hence. God defend me, said Sir Dinadan, from your fellowship, for I never sped well since I met with you. And so they departed. Well, said Sir Tristram, I could tell you tidings of Sir Tristram. God defend me, said Dinadan, from your fellowship or for Sir Tristram's, who is mickle the worse, if he was in your company. And then they departed. Sir, said Tristram, yet it may happen that I shall meet with you in other places. And so rode Sir Tristram unto Joyous Gard, and there he heard in that town great noise and cry. What is this noise? Said Sir Tristram. Sir, said they, here is a knight of this castle that has long been among us, and right now he is slain with 2 knights, and for no other cause, but that the knight said that Sir Lancelot was a better knight than Sir Gawaine. That was a simple cause, said Sir Tristram, for to slay a good knight, for to say well by his master. That is little remedy to us, said the men of the town. For Sir Lancelot had been here soon, and we should have been revenged upon the false knights. When Sir Tristram heard them say so, he sent out for his shield and for his spear, and lightly within a while he had overtaken them, and bade them to turn and amend that they had misdone. What amends will you have? Said the one knight. And therewith they overtook their course, and either one met each other so hard that Sir Tristram smote down that knight over his horse's tail. Then the other knight dressed himself to Tristram, and in the same way he served the other knight too. Then they got off their horses as well as they might, dressed their shields and their swords, and did battle to the utterance. Knights, said Sir Tristram, you shall tell me of whence you have come, and what your names are. For such men as you might be, you should hard have escaped my hands, and that you might be such men of such a country, for all your evil deeds you shall not be allowed to pass. Know you well, Sir Knight, said they. We fear not to tell you our names, for my name is Sir Agravaine, and my name is Sir Gaheris, brethren unto the good knight Sir Gawaine, and we are nephews unto King Arthur. Well, said Tristram, for King Arthur's sake I will allow you to pass at this time. But it is a shame, said Sir Tristram, that Gawaine and you come of so great a blood, that you 4 brethren are named as you are. For it is said that you are the greatest destroyers and murderers of good knights that are now in this realm. For it is, but I have heard say, that Sir Gawaine and you slew among you a better knight than ever you had been, and that was the noble knight Sir Lamorak de Galis. And it had pleased God, said Sir Tristram, that I would have been by Sir Lamorak at his death. And then you should have gone the same way, said Gaheris. Fair knight, said Tristram, you must have been... There, I've lost my line there. Fair knight, said Sir Tristram, there must have been many more knights than you are. And therewith Sir Tristram departed from them toward the Joyous Gard. And when he was departed, they took their horses, and the one said to the other, we will overtake him, and be revenged upon him in the despite of Sir Agravaine, of Sir Lamorak. There we have it, ladies and gents. Sir Tristram, my favourite knight, has come across Sir Gaheris and Sir Agravain, brothers unto Sir Gawain, all of them complicit and conspirers in the cruel and unjust murder of Sir Lamorak. Sir Tristram has challenged them, but agreed in the end to allow them to pass because they are kin to King Arthur. However, these knights haven't just allowed themselves to leave Sir Tristram. They haven't quit while they're ahead. They have decided that because Sir Tristram has slighted them, has offended them, has insulted their honour over bringing down death to Sir Lamorak, that they will conspire to overtake Sir Tristram and slay him forever, questioning their dutifulness as a knight. Ladies and gents, tomorrow night, right here at our usual time of 9 o'clock UK time. I apologise for the late time tonight, but at our usual time of 9 o'clock UK time, we shall see just what happens. That's right, Sir Tristram will have to face down Sir Agravain and Sir Gaheris and see if Sir Tristram can withstand them, and can Sir Tristram one night against two fend off against them to have revenge upon the death of Sir Lamorak. I know which corner I'll be in tomorrow night, ladies and gents, but which corner will you be in? And Fabi, this is a very ornate letter opener. A very, very nice letter opener. Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Taz. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Queen. Or should I say Lady Babyface these days? Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Taz. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. So I apologise for the late start. But big thank you to Danny and Queen, Taz, Dawn, Fabi and Amanda. And Amanda, two Amandas. No, not a knife, Fabi. It's absolutely blunt. There's no danger of me cutting anything, least of all me. I won't get cut, the books won't get cut, my pencil pots won't get cut, and the bag of flaxseed, which has been on my desk for 2 weeks, won't get cut either. It's all safe. Don't try this at home, ladies and gents, but don't worry, this is purely safe. We're all good. But thank you so much for coming tonight, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome to Amanda and Dawn, by the way. First-time viewers to the show. Hello as well, George. I hope you've enjoyed this. We do this every night at 9 o'clock UK time. We tell the smitingly good stories of King Arthur, as they should be told, with hand-waving and much gesticulation. So that's still to come. Well, to come tomorrow, we will continue. Still to come tonight, though, ladies and gents, is Poetry Live. Poetry Live, starting half an hour late as well. I apologise for the late start for Poetry Live. I did promise till bashing, but as I was saying to Danny and everyone before the show started tonight, I haven't had a chance to actually redraft till bashing. I am going to work like hell redrafting it now and bringing it up to speed, but it would sadden me to give a bad draft of that story to you guys, and so I cannot, in good conscience, do that. So I'll have to redraft it and make it absolutely amazing and awesome and incredible and worthy of you guys spending half an hour listening to me. Or an hour, as some of you do. So if you're going to spend that time, you do. I know you're a first-time viewer, George, so welcome. You've caught the end of tonight's show, so you missed all the good smiting and the buffeting and the coming together like thunder and the jousting and the slaying and all the good stuff and the hauberks being rent down to bloody men. Oh, I do enjoy the tales of King Arthur, as you would as well if you managed to catch them at the start. We begin usually at 9 o'clock UK time, but still to come tonight, ladies and gents, we have got some epic poem to share with you tonight. Tonight, I am going to read De Rerum Nautica by Lucretius, the natural order of things, the great Latin epic poem on the nature of the universe. Actually, it's a very, very early precursor of the metaphysics that John Donne and his contemporaries were writing. One of my favourite poems. Hello, Karen, come in. We're just about to start Poetry Live. I haven't read that. I will look it up, Fabi. I will look it up and see whether we can read it on the show. But ladies and gents, I'm going to run downstairs, grab myself a glass of water so that my throat doesn't dry up midway through reading you some wonderful poetry, and then I shall come back up with a beautiful book with some beautiful poetry inside, and hopefully entertain you all some more this evening. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you guys in a few minutes for some poetry live. Thank you so much for coming tonight, ladies and gents. Hopefully I'll see you in a couple of minutes for the next scope. Bye bye.